Hi, this is Dustin Williams with Precision Fitness, here to demonstrate workout number 3 for our holiday survival guide with bands and body weight exercises. Workout number 3, we are doing a 15-second work period followed by a 15-second rest period. We've got 8 different exercises to go through. In the circuit, starting with exercise number 1, we're going to do just a body weight squat. So in the body weight squat, you can hold your hands here, you can hold your hands straight out, you can do a prisoner position. Doesn't really matter what you do with your hands. You're going to drop down into a squat position. Make sure that you keep your knees pushed out and the chest up tall, staying up as tall as you can. You're going to drop all the way down to where your quads, your thighs are parallel with the floor. Take a 1-second pause, stand back up out of it. Drop down, keep the knees out real wide. Don't let your knees cave in, keep them out, chest up. Drive back up and stand up at the top. If you want to make this exercise a little tougher, you can actually use the resistance band. If you want to use the resistance band, you'll step into it, take your hands and pull your elbows through right here. So now you turn this into more of a front squat so that you have added resistance, exact same form. But now when I stand up, this band is giving me added resistance to make the squat a little bit tougher. Exercise number 2, we're going to go into what we call a marching plank. So you're going to get into a push-up position. When you're in this push-up position, make sure that your spine is nice and neutral. Don't let your lower back sink down. Don't let your hips sag. Get into a nice neutral position. And in the plank, marching plank, you're going to lift one foot up, lock out the glutes, drop back down. So we're just alternating lifting the leg up whenever we do this. It's very important that you don't lift your leg up so high that you end up sinking in your lower back. That's a little bit too high. We're only trying to move the hips right now. So don't let the lower back come down and sink in. So just raise up high enough to where you feel a nice squeeze in your butt and glutes. Exercise number 3, we're going to go into what's called a split jump. So in a split jump, it's the same thing as a split squat or a lunge, but you're actually alternating legs as you're jumping through it. So in that, you'll start neutral. You're going to jump into a lunge, jump into a split squat right here, and then jump back out. Jump into a split squat, jump back out. Very important that you stay up extremely tall the whole time. Don't let your hips push back. Don't let your body bend over forward. Starting neutral, jump in position, jump back up. You'll do alternating legs. So on this, jump here, jump neutral, switch legs, jump neutral. If you struggle to get into the jump position and keep solid form, you can go into just a basic split squat where you stay up real tall, no jumping. Your feet are stationary. Drop down, stand up, drop down, stand up. From there, after the split jumps, exercise number 4, we go into a mountain climber. So you're going to get into the same plank position that you got in earlier whenever we did the marching plank, but instead of lifting the feet up, you're actually going to pull your knees in for a mountain climber position instead. So you drop down into that same plank position, make sure that everything's nice and neutral, spine is straight. You're going to pull one knee up, point the toe back, reset the foot. Make sure that whenever you do this, don't actually touch the foot down on the ground here. Point that toe back. You get a lot more core activation this way. Pull it in. And then the same thing as what I was talking about earlier with the marching planks, where I said not to lift your foot up too far. Same thing applies here. Don't pull your knee in so far that you end up rounding off your lower back. So make sure just to pull the knee in as far as you can using the hip. You'll actually feel your lower back round out, because in order for me to come up high, I have to dip my hips down, which is very, very hard on my lower back. So alternate through. If you want to make it a little bit tougher, you can pick up the pace. Just make sure that if you start to go faster, don't let your butt bounce up and down. Keep everything nice and locked in and controlled the whole time you do it. After a mountain climber, you're going to go a lateral lunge to the left. From this position, you're going to start neutral, and you're going to lunge out to the left, drop straight out, lunge down, explode back up into a neutral position again. It's very important that you stay up real tall, push your hips back, keep your weight in your heels, don't let it shift up to your toes. Drop down again, come down all the way to parallel, drive through the heel, push back up. Now if you find that the lunge is a little tough, you can go into just a lateral squat. So in that, you're going to take a real nice wide stance, so your feet are going to stay stationary. You'll squat to one side, stand back up. Squat to one side, stand back up. The next exercise from there, you're going to go to a lateral lunge to the right. So it's the exact same exercise, you're just going to go to the other side. The next exercise we're going to go into is a T-spine rotation. So you're going to get back into that plank position again. It's going to be very important that you keep a real nice wide base with your feet. Push your feet out because you're actually going to be coming up on one spine, the thoracic spine, which is the upper part of the back. Drop down into that plank or push-up hold position. Nice wide feet. Come up onto one arm, rotate up, and make sure that your eyes follow your hand. Come back down, alternate sides. Come up, eyes follow the hand, come back down. Try to keep from about the rib cage down as tight as possible. Ideally, you want everything to still be facing the floor. We're really only trying to rotate at the upper back and keeping everything else locked in, alternating back and forth between that. The final exercise we're going to go into is called a band pull apart. So you'll pull your band back out, grab the band on the end. You're going to hold this directly across the center of your chest. And what you're going to do is pull straight back until this band hits your chest, right across the center line of the chest. Pulling back. This is called a band pull apart. In order to make these tougher, you can just grab closer in on the band so that you have more slack. It's going to cause more resistance and be a little bit harder to pull back into the same position. Or you can always upgrade to the black band, go to the next level up on the bands. So that's workout number 3 for our holiday survival guide.